Hey guys, welcome to E.D.I.F.Y. So today we're going to do a little bit of a science experiment that I've done several times and I really enjoy doing, and I feel like the kids enjoy it too. Here's how it works. You need two glasses. You can use graduated cylinders is how the trick was made. I did not invent it, by the way. I will give you the link for that below. But I just use regular household glasses. One of them I place on the table. One of them I put on a plate because it could make a little bit of a mess if you use too much on accident. We'll get to that in a minute. You're also going to need some baking soda. This is Arm & Hammer brand. Brands don't really matter. I just get what's cheap for all of this stuff. Here is some yeast. This is Red Star brand, but again, brands don't matter too much. Here is Equate hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to use some of that and some white vinegar. This is just the Walmart brand, great value. Just make sure you stick with white vinegar. Don't use apple cider or anything like that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take the yeast and open it. Cut a little slit. It actually calls to use a teaspoon in each glass. I don't use quite that much because if you use too much, like I said earlier, you can end up making a mess. So be a little bit careful. This experiment is going to fizz up. Let's make sure we have the same amount in here. Looks pretty good. Alright. And then we're going to take the baking soda and try to add just as much baking soda as you did yeast, if that's possible, into each container. If you want to measure it out, it does call for 1 teaspoon of each. Then we're going to take hydrogen peroxide. We're going to put that into the cup that is not on a plate, because that does not make quite as big of a reaction. So we'll pour some of that in there. And as you can see, it does start to fizz up, but the reaction doesn't usually turn out quite as big as the yeast does. But as you see, this one already is almost to the top, so you gotta be careful. When you get the vinegar now, pour it into the other container, and this one will react quite largely. So I just put a little bit, and as you can see, I don't even have to pick that glass up. There it is, rushing to the top. You're also going to need a couple of wooden sticks. Popsicle sticks work the best. These are wooden skewers. Okay. The way I use this experiment is I talk to my kids about the light that God places in us. See, when He saves us, He makes us the light. Several verses back this up. Ye are the light of the world. A city which is set on a hill cannot be hid. We also sing the song, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, right? And don't let Satan it out is the key here. See, as we get into the world and we start to do things, our flame can just naturally diminish. Or if we get into the to the vinegar here without touching the bubbles, it's completely gone. But you know what God will do? God's amazing. If we go to Him and we ask Him for help, He can completely, well, see if He'll do it, completely reignite that flame within us. But how is this possible? I created bubbles. Bubbles should put out fire, right? This one does. As I get close, that flame just completely starts to diminish and go away. But with God's help, He'll relight us. Now, you have to have a glowing ember to make this work. I got a little too close to the bubbles and the ember went out. But if I were to simply try again, I could go ahead and relight this. Get a nice little flame going here. And I could do it over again. The idea is that this vinegar puts out the flame. It's not working right now. Sorry, guys. And that happens sometimes. You just gotta be prepared for the worst. Get over here by the hydrogen peroxide, and as you can see, it gets bright because it completely relit it. See, this blows kids' minds. They love it. And as I said, I used it. Let's just drop that in there so it doesn't cause any problems. I use this object lesson, this illustration, as the fact that God can relight the light in you. When you're saved, God starts us as a light. He makes us the light of the world, and it's up to us to go out and share it with people. But if we're not careful, we can let Satan it out. We can let him put that light out in us. It seems silly. Why would we let Satan put out that light? It happens so fast. And it's the little things. It just comes up, it sneaks into our life and extinguishes the fire that God has put inside of us. But if we ask God to help us, He will completely relight that flame. He will help us to burn brighter than ever. Now, disclaimer, you don't have to use the same application that I did. There are many applications for a trick like this. It's very cool. It's very simple. I'm sorry that it goofed, but it is a very nice trick, and please feel free to use it in any ways. And if you find a new application, something I haven't thought of, send it to me. I would love to hear it. Thanks.